Matt and Lindsay, do you want to introduce yourselves and share? I know you all had come up with some ideas for today, right? To share with us about new beginnings, new year.
Yes. Hi, I'm Matt Baker. I use he, him pronouns. I am the nurse clinic manager over at the Student Health Center. So it's nice to virtually meet anyone who I am a fresh face to, and it's nice to see some friendly faces here. And I'm happy to be here for you on the 4th.
Great, thanks.
And I'm Lindsay McNeil, the family nurse practitioner here. I use she, her pronouns. Most people I've met only actually this way, since, you know, Matt and I have started and been here basically since the pandemic. So it's, I see more faces this way and meet you. We're always here. We're here 5 days a week. So not only here on the 4th. So just call, reach out if you need anything. And Matt's gonna give a little bit of something for all of you.
Okay, yeah, so I've prepared a slideshow. I'm not a Zoom expert, so I'm hoping this goes off relatively smoothly. Let me, does this, are you all able to see my slideshow?
Not yet. Did you click share screen?
Oh boy, sorry.
It's okay. There you go.
Aha, look.
Yes.
I'm learning with you. Here we go. All right. Our topic of today was goals and beginnings and resolutions. And I thought, what is a resolution other than a New Year themed goal? So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to go over some quickly some goal setting ideas and concepts before getting into the big idea with health related goals. So just to talk to you briefly about why health-related goals are important for everybody right now, just remember the mind-body link. Poor physical health increases the risk of poor academic performance. And believe it or not, it's not just something that people say. This has been studied, and just people have run data on this, and we all know that stress can cause various health problems. It can manifest as various symptoms, and of course there's a lot of overlap with the management of behavioral health and physical health. A lot of people would tell you with the very first things with managing behavioral health issues is going to be great diet and exercise techniques, which happens to be a lot of preventative healthcare as well. So with goal setting, I would also like to challenge you to consider all of the areas of wellness. I'm hoping that anybody looking at this slide would recognize these areas of wellness because they happen to be the MICA wellness model. So these are all the holistic areas of health, which are great to include in all of your goals and aspirations. And there's a lot of ways that you can make goals to hit multiple areas of wellness at once. This is a concept that many of you may have been exposed to before. Hopefully it is a little bit of review. If it's not something that you're familiar with, I recommend looking into it in a little bit more depth, or even sending me an email or calling and talking to me about it, because I love talking about this kind of stuff. SMART goals. It's basically a few components that you want to include in your goal to make something that is like robust and measurable, and has components that can allow you to say when your goal is complete, and you can revisit the idea and say, give yourself feedback and things like that. So you want your goal to be specific, don't be vague. You want it to be measurable, attainable, relevant, and trackable. Some things that I would like you to consider when making goals, or things to include or things to avoid, just habits you would like to start, behaviors you would like to increase. Again, this has been studied as well. It's not just something that we like to say, but people do better with things they like to think about or things that they have positive feelings about rather than things that they feel negatively about. Think about measurable improvements that you can make, things that are in your ability to do, or again, something that I touched on before, goals that address multiple areas of wellness, plans to chart, write about, or create a physical representation of success. So if you're a data-driven person, you can like make a graph about, like your mood or how you're doing number-wise with a goal. If you are doing like a raw number, like minutes of exercise or something like that. Some things to avoid, those negative words in your goals, like I want to stop, or I won't, or I'll stop missing my deadline, just to avoid having that negative association with your goal. Avoid negative reinforcement as well, and just avoid self-defeat. These are just some examples of goals that didn't include those SMART criteria. So something that isn't measurable, trackable, and also could be more specific is something like, I want to start exercising. So, what kind of exercise are you going to do? How are you going to measure that? When were you going to obtain that goal? Something that could use a time frame for tracking, or even I would recommend an alternative, like, so I want to stop drinking soda. Like maybe somebody could say, eventually I'd like to be including more water intake in my day, and I'm going to do that by drinking so many glasses of water. A bad goal, or a goal that could use improvement, I want to sleep more by the end of the month. It's not really measurable. How much more are you going to sleep? How are you going to know when it's more? And then, of course, something not attainable, like I will become an Olympic gold-winning swimmer by lunchtime. Sure, we'd all like to do that, but there might be something better that you can come up with. So an example of a well-constructed wellness goal, one that I had fun with the concept of making: by the end of April 2021, I will have increased the number of hours I dance every week to 5. So it's specific because you're covering exactly what kind of exercise you want to do. It's measurable because I'm putting a number of hours that I'm going to exercise. Attainable because sure, I might be able to dance that much in that amount of time. Reasonable, or my goodness, it's relatable, and it's time specific. I put in a date that I'm going to obtain that goal by. All right, and so going back to this concept, just thinking about what are some goals that you can make for every area of wellness, like an intellectual goal. Maybe you're going to consider reading a book every month that challenges a social perspective, or a lot of people make resolutions for physical goals, like increasing exercise or smoking cessation. Sexual goals could be taking your birth control every day or your PrEP every day. Environmental goals could be something as simple as making sure that you are recycling or going to participate in trash pickup. These are all areas that are important. They improve wellness in every way. Holistic health has been studied and proven to show that, again, that mind-body link takes care of your physical well-being, eliminating those stress symptoms. Now, sort of the big concept that I wanted to talk about is goals that you can make in response to the changes that you have experienced. I think as a society, we've all experienced a lot of changes over the past several months. I think one of the biggest things is going virtual, or spending more time at home or isolated or on a computer. Doing things virtually, like what we're doing now. We all spend more time on the screen. seeing friends and family less often. You might perceive an increased workload, and your sleep-wake cycle might be interrupted because of all of these different factors. So some goals to respond to that: plan physical activity breaks. That could be something as simple as stretching while you are sitting at your desk and working. The recommendation, even for screen time, hasn't changed, to take 20 minutes or take 20 seconds every 20 minutes and focus on something that's at least 20 feet away. That's important for your eye health, and that's something that you have to preserve. Set aside time for leisure and sleep. Those leisure activities, they help you with your emotional health, with your behavioral health. You can't just focus on work 24/7. You can't burn out or feel overwhelmed. You've got to make that time. You've got to set aside time for that. Make a point to spend time outdoors. Again, you could be including goals to do hiking, taking care of your physical health and environmental health at the same time, making a work schedule and sticking to it. So that way, you know what time you're going to dedicate to your classwork and to your leisure time. And you don't have to worry about day to day when are tasks going to get done when you have already organized and dedicated that time. Creating a healthy meal plan to save time. Again, if you dedicate a little bit of time at some point in the week to do that, you spend less time worrying about it when it's got to get done, when you're due to eat at a certain part of the day. Taking stairs instead of the elevator, again, compensating for maybe some increased time when you're sitting at the desk, some increased sedentary time that we all might be experiencing now. And then maybe something simple like using your hand hygiene time for positive affirmations. Maybe you think it's a little goofy, but we all spend a lot more time washing our hands these days. So instead of doing like the happy birthday song, if it takes you 20 seconds to tell yourself something positive or tell yourself something reassuring, maybe you could just do that for a few of your hand washing sessions in the day, just to do something a little better for yourself other than something so drab and routine. All right, so I've got my references again, just to let you know that these things were studied. I'm just not.
You didn't make it all up, Matt?
No.